Σήμερα σας έχω ένα πραγματικά απίστευτο βίντεο. Έκανα ένα interview με τον CEO της SwissBorg, τον Cyrus Fazel. Ήταν πάρα πολύ καλό. Κοιτάξτε, η αλήθεια είναι ότι προσπάθησα να κάνω όσο πιο έτσι περίεργες ερωτήσεις μπορούσα να μας απαντήσει στα ερωτήματα που έχουμε όλοι μας. Αλλά πήρα και τη βοήθεια τη δική σας από το Instagram, διότι σας ρώτησα στο Instagram τι ερωτήσεις θα θέλετε να κάνετε στον CEO της SwissBorg. Αν δεν με ακολουθείτε στο Instagram, να πάτε, γιατί θα το ξανακάνω με έναν άλλον CEO που θα κάνω σύντομα interview. Χωρίς να θέλω να σας παταλήσω το χρόνο σας, πάμε κατευθείαν στο interview. Enjoy. Thank you so much for giving me your time, Cyrus. Here is Cyrus Fazel, everybody, CEO of SwissBorg. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you, Konstantinos. Looking forward to this chat, and hello to all the community.
Hello. So today what we're going to do is I have gathered a lot of questions, actually 10 to be exact, and I wanted to ask you so everybody will get to know SwissBorg, hopefully, like start their investment journey with SwissBorg, because as I always say, SwissBorg is probably the best application in Europe for beginners. So, are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna go easy on you. Just tell us what's your background and how did SwissBorg came about.
Okay, in a very quick way, I'm originally Iranian Swiss, grew up in the US, in France, and then started working in finance in 2007. After a decade working in finance, so mainly private banking, hedge funds, I got to look into Bitcoin as a profitable investment. Then I understood what was the product. My family, my father being based in Iran, I was able to send him Bitcoins over there. And then spiritually, so philosophically, how can blockchain change at least the industry I was working in, which was mainly wealth management. And I said, okay, I know what it is. We need to create a new ecosystem that could be really democratizing wealth management by making it fair, because wealth management is not fair, by making it fun. It's not usually fun, and community-centric. Well, usually it's a community of 1,000 people on Earth, and we want to make it for the 1 billion people on Earth. Yeah.
Well, I've heard you say that like countless times, right? And, especially Greek people are quite, skeptical about this kind of stuff. It sounds all, very good in a way. Isn't wealth management like for the few?
Yeah, I mean, we believe that wealth is assigned just because when you have money, right? But actually, we know that money is data, and data can be whatever you want. And the future of wealth, maybe like 2 centuries ago, was land, right? Maybe a century ago was more gold. Maybe 50 years ago was stocks and bonds. But what is the future? Is it going to be NFTs in video games? Is it going to be social media tokenization? It could be multiple different subjects. And I think so we're tackling it from a very interesting way. And if you have data, yes, means you're wealthy. And then we have to allocate and see, how can we make this data even more valuable? But that's really what we're pursuing. And everyone should be empowered in wealth management and should consider investing, because if you're not investing, you're losing money every day.
That's true. Well, playing with data seems kind of, dangerous. So how safe is SwissBorg actually?
So I would say SwissBorg as an app, it's extremely secure. We're the great thing is that we have one of the best state-of-art technology. We aggregate from the best exchanges. We have wallets that are extremely secure. It's backed by MPC technology, so it's multi-party computation technology that removes private keys. So that is usually one of the most biggest risks you have in crypto. Then we're regulated. And more importantly, our DNA is that we're really cool and people that really love what we're doing. There's a lot of people who who could, like us, did an ICO in 2017, 18, and, just, ran out of the money or failed. We have proven with time that we will not stop until we reach the top, as we say.
All right. So maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on the safe stuff? I mean, what do you do to keep our money safe, basically?
Yeah, I mean, so, how the SwissBorg works, right? You explained it in different videos. We have aggregated multiple exchanges where you could buy and sell and really get the best prices. So that was like the first thing we did. Now we've built for the same thing for essentially DeFi. We have built an Oracle that scans a lot of different opportunities in decentralized liquidity pools. Sorry for those who don't know it. It's the whole DeFi space. We allocate in the best, smartest way your USDC, which is the dollar tokenized, your Bitcoin, your Ether. And so why is it security? I mean, why would we put security at first? We're Swiss, okay? Swiss is crazy about cryptography and crazy about security. It's the only place in the world which is like probably the most security, is extremely well known for cryptography. Like if you look at our passports, it's probably one of the craziest passport, impossible to imitate. So we have that culture of cryptographic and all the money is printed in Switzerland. And it has that tradition. So we were very fortunate to get really the best, really engineers. Yeah, I mean, crypto, there's multiple different risks. Though the biggest risk is always getting hacked. And that's the reason why we have as well adopted this new technologies called MPC. We were the first wallet in the world to have this. We partner up with Curve, a great company that just has been acquired by PayPal, unfortunately. Yeah. Unfortunately. That is what it is. But now we're working with Fireblocks, which is another great company, same background, very similar technology. I mean, yeah, very similar MPC technology. So I think so that's how we believe that security is at the most. And as I explained again, we are regulated in Estonia. We are under VQF arm in Switzerland. We are applying for the licenses in Switzerland and elsewhere in Europe. So we're always putting best practice, best standards to make sure that all your funds are secured. And last but not least, for those who do DeFi with us, they have a safety net. So that means if things don't go well, we still have a way to pay you back. And for the Genesis premium, you have as well a $20 million insurance as well on your funds as well.
That's great to know. It's very great. Nice. It's, security is extremely important. And we Greek people know a little bit about that. So we are a little bit insane about our funds being safe. So saying that, now I want to ask you about what are your short and long-term goals in SwissBorg?
Yeah, so it's always extremely hard to foresee, long-term on blockchain because it's an exponential technology and there's so many things going on, right? When I got into the space in 2016, I thought we are going to go into DeFi like in 16, even 17, right? And DeFi didn't do anything until really last year. But since last year, it went bananas, right? Yeah. So it went like from, a few $1 million pledged to now 55 billion pledged for 2 different decentralized crappy exchange to Uniswap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, and whatever swap, to ETH Land, to a magnificent Aave platform, and Venus, and so many other cool projects. So it's always very hard to say on long term. But what we do know on the short run is that obviously the community premium should be launched very soon for those who want to be premium and enjoy it. It should be happening very soon. And that's always being delayed, but now it looks like it's getting sooner. Then what we have really on the short run is, we'll be adding more DeFi things going on, more tokens. And then on the longer run, what we really want to start offering is theme-based investments. investments where you just click on one button, it buys you like a basket of DeFi, and it essentially, every week or whatever, it rebalance for you. We'll then like to offer exactly mandates. So if you don't want to trade every day, you just like click on the mandate will trade for you. Eventually, I think so it'll be awesome if we could add more to this investment universe. So not only crypto, but like more, let's say, traditional investments.
Stocks?
Yeah, like theme-based investments, let's say that. Let's keep it global. But yeah, something that could get exposure to um, a wider investment universe. And yeah, in some way replicate what I've done before in a very cool, fun, fair, and community-centric way. So how to really offer mandates for people, and for those who want to do it yourself, be a trader, investor, do it. Those who want to be more investor and passive, like Spotify, click on a button and you let the music play to your ears.
That sounds amazing. So, from the beginning, I assumed that the SwissBorg Wealth app is meant to be mainly targeted at the new investors. Is this correct? And why is that?
So it's a little bit hard to say, but is Tesla done for just people that are a bit like boring, or people like really fun acceleration, right? I think so it's for Mr. Everyone, but if you want a really speedy car, Tesla's really cool. I think so it's the same that goes to SwissBorg, right? It's very intuitive, it's very easy, but you're not getting 16% yield on other platforms with USDC, right? You're not being able to really apply and get a smart engine and get those best rates on most of the different platforms in the world. So if you're sophisticated, there's a lot of people very sophisticated that are on SwissBorg, and there's a lot of newbies or people that are from elderly generation over 50, 60 that are really enjoy it, because you don't need, besides if you're a hardcore trader, you don't need an order book. Order book is just buy it market price. You don't need to put a limit. Just why you're gonna narrow down and like do like a little 0.05% of cheaper. Yeah. It's crypto. That's irrelevant. 0.5% of getting in and out, it's irrelevant. Besides if you're like a hedge fund high frequency trader. But again, I think so those are not the high frequency guys, are really like hedge fund guys. Definitely need these platforms. 99% of the planet doesn't need it. Just go into Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's 38,000 or 37,900. It's not going to change your life. But if you're going to miss that entry and then goes to 45,000, then you're going to be pissed off.
That's okay. I totally agree. So, question: why we cannot buy the CHSB token in any other exchange? Why is that?
Well, yeah, it's only
is it because of you?
HBTC?
Like you don't want to, or what is it?
No. It's definitely exchanges. So there's a lot of exchange that want to list us. That's very clear. But it's rather we go on like the top ones, or if not, there's no sense, right? So we're working hard on this. Initially, you had to pay 2017-18, right? So we released our token in February 2018. So back then it was very expensive, and coming from a person that never had a lot of money, I am cheap as possible. Okay, like people who really know me, they're like, okay, you're fucking cheap, Cyrus. And so we never
totally
pay for
relate. I can totally relate.
Because I'm not going to pay $1 million from our community money to get listed on an exchange. That's very clear. It's never going to happen. So that was the first issue, where KuCoin was very more open-minded, hit BTC as well. Then other exchange didn't work very well, so it didn't happen. But long story short, the top exchanges, we are in discussion with them. It's always a very opaque type of understanding why they don't want to list us, or why they do want to list us. Okay. So we're still working on it as we speak. It's a very common subject we have on the table. We do speak to Binance team. We do talk to Coinbase team. We do talk to Kraken team. We do talk to Huobi. We do talk to every big exchange, FTX. We talk to everything. And then Sometimes we're not their priority. Sometimes maybe they feel that we're competitors. It's always hard. But at the end, actually, which I always say, a handicap, you could take as a handicap, right? Or you could strengthen that handicap and become something amazing. And the fact that it's not being listed on any other chain is not good for the SwissBorg community, but actually it is good because people then go on the wealth app, download it, and then they become premium, right? So it's not perfect. Definitely we'll get listed, but it's not all bad.
All right. And that was actually quite amazing what you said, because you didn't want to pay like the $1 billion or whatever fee, because you are thinking long term. So that's amazing. So that's very good.
Thanks. Yeah.
It makes me sleep better at night. So next question. Well, everybody loves getting the passive income from the wonderful Smart Yield program, right? Me included. Could you explain in plain English, how does that work?
Yeah.
So I give you my money, and then what's going on?
And then it's magic. What happens is that we have created an investment universe on Ethereum blockchain and on Binance Smart Chain, and that investment universe has been created by people that have audited financially, technologically, all the different risks that there are on these different platforms, such as PancakeSwap, Venus on Binance Smart Chain, or like Curve, Aave, Compound on Ethereum as network. And what this oracle does then after, it scans these different liquidity pools and it pledges your cryptos into these pools, and every 24 hours it recalibrates and it goes into the new best pools where the yields are the best. And it's a very, very good way to, as you said, to enjoy a passive income. But more importantly, it really as well saves, not saves, but it creates an ecosystem. And I think so that's the beauty of it, is that it really does use blockchain and DeFi in order and grows that market. So it's very self-sufficient. Rates won't be as sustainable as we saw them, 2 months ago. They will calm down eventually.
Unfortunately,
and it's already happening.
Unfortunately,
yeah, it is, but it's okay though. I mean, you can't like expect to have 40% on USDC all your life. It'll be awkward. You'll become too rich. You won't enjoy the game anymore.
True.
But nevertheless, what I'm saying is that I think so. It's a great thing because it really shows that crypto is not only speculation. That's the first thing. But then, as I always explain with Bitcoins, that then you understand the product, you start using that product. And then number three, you understand the philosophy of DeFi is how we could all be self-sufficient economically between different communities and how we get rewarded there. And I think so that's that third thing, when you're like, oh, actually what I'm doing with Venus, it makes this and that, and then from Aave and then Compound. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually helping the lives of multiple more than my life. And I think so that's when you start realizing you're doing the right thing. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Great answers, Cyrus. Great answers. Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you another 2 questions, and then we'll have like a roundup, quick answers. Okay. So first of all, why did you choose to do an ICO to raise money? Couldn't you just bootstrap it? You're rich, right?
No, we couldn't. There's definitely a huge, I mean, it took us 3 years to build this wealth app. Imagine if we were like just bootstrap 2 people. It would never happen. So no, we had to raise a big amount of capital to create the best teams in the world.
Okay, so that's okay. And currently you have the community and the wealth hub, right? Any plans on developing any new apps under the SwissBorg umbrella?
Yeah, dio.swissborg.com. It's our DEO where people could do a lot of different missions to grow the network and get rewarded. It's been there for 3 years. It's really cool. About 3,000 people. And obviously, there is something in the back burner that is still far away. We talked about the Launchpad at our last AMA, and that Launchpad will probably launching one project that is something about wealth management and something decentralized.
Is this a completely different app?
Completely different.
Cool.
Nothing to do.
All right.
I mean, everything is always to do. I mean, there's always that virtuous cycle, but it's something on its own. Yeah, it's decentralized, so it'll be different. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. So round up questions. Λοιπόν, so how decentralized is SwissBorg? Is it like 50-50?
It's not enough, I would say. It will grow, and especially that new project going forward. We need to grow the governance model. We haven't had any referendums recently, but I think so. We have the true spirit of being decentralized, and we're born out of an ICO, so that's the most decentralized creation ever.
Of course. Are you planning on making a web version of the Wealth app?
No.
Why? Why?
It's two mindsets. It's if you would do a desktop version, you would do a trading version. And we're saying that we're not doing the trading thing right now. So, and if we do a referendum one day, and really people like vote this out, and okay, we'll do it. But if not, we don't believe the real, and we don't want to do B2B either. So, yeah, for now, no.
What are the process of choosing the tokens to add to the app? Like, is it like a very complicated process, or you just...
So this technological first one, right? So we have to make sure that these tokens are listed on different exchanges first. Then, as we have MPC technology for our wallets, we have to make sure that the blockchain is compatible, which for most of the cases is not. Why we don't have Polkadot is for that. I own dots. Everyone loves dot, Polkadot, Cardano, same thing. But for technological reasons, we couldn't. Then we try to see, is this the next new thing? Is this going to be a real good opportunity? Whenever we list a token, that means we already have bought it, or we're going to buy it through the app, right? Fourth, we try to understand how decentralized this movement is, right? And what are the values behind it? Last but not least, how is it beneficial for SwissBorg? Are they going to be doing the smart yield through us? Are we going to be using their products, engine? You're going to make video games with them. All these projects, we'd really try to see how we create these win-win situations, actually.
So in a sense, you stand by your tokens that you list, kind of.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You really believe in them. Okay.
All of them. I own every token we have on the app. Very clear.
Amazing. Why is the company based in Estonia and not in Switzerland?
Good question. So so we're based in Switzerland as well. We're based in multiple different countries. SwissBorg, which is the main company, is a holding that has multiple companies. And why is the app licensed through Estonia? Is that because, well, they're only guys who really had the license back then. They had a very clear framework. Back then, you needed to have 2 or 3 licenses, which now came to 1, which is harder to get. And number 2, the reason is that it's in Europe. So if it was, for example, based in non-European countries, it would have been very, very difficult to offer this to other European states. So for us, we had to find a European country. And Estonia had this great framework, legal framework. And then what people don't really realize is how Estonia has been massive in tech.
Yeah.
Right
true.
after USSR came down, these guys created Skype. I mean, this is how crazy. People always think like Skype is American. Skype was great until it would belong to Microsoft. But if not, it was just Estonian. Out of nowhere, just came out with the best idea. And then the similar guys created one of the biggest fintech of all time, TransferWise. So there's a huge talent pool in Estonia that people don't know about. And so for us, it was like, okay, well, it makes 2 cents. They're tech, they're fintech, and they have the licenses and the framework, and they're digital, and they're cool people. So we went there.
Good. When is the community premium gonna be available? Soon?
That's the question we have every Friday, and the answer we have every Monday is never as good as we want. Okay. It might be this week. Who knows? Might be next week. But it's hard to.
Is it gonna be on a Tuesday though?
We don't know. I literally don't know. It's I
Okay.
wish I knew, but no, it could be this week. It could be the next week.
All
Who knows?
right.
But
And
it should be
because
coming at least in this month, hopefully. Oh, I don't know. We're 24th actually.
yeah,
It could
yeah,
be
yeah,
actually June.
yeah. Probably in June. Yeah, probably June. Okay, so because I respect your time, another two very quick questions. I know you want to have a card, right? Like a debit card. But
So I'm for it, but Anthony's against it. Yeah.
yes, yes. But why are you for it and he's not? Like in a nutshell.
Um. So I made the first video and I talked about payment in the first video. Okay, so I like to keep my promise. That's first thing. We said in the thing it'll have a we had a digital exchange. I remember. What if your cyborg advisor, what if your cyborg advisor provides you the best tailor-made investment portfolios, the best digital exchange, and the latest payments solutions? So the mandates are coming. With the yield is pretty much there, right? It's the first type of it's not a mandate, but it's like close to it, and we'll get to those mandates. Digital exchange, we nailed it. It's awesome. But the payments we never got to it. So long story short, when I say something, I like to deliver it. Anthony, why he doesn't think it's a good thing is that it's a huge operation mess. It's a huge operation mess. When you start offering these things, it's a huge mess. And as we're only 165 people, if it looks like it's a lot, it's not that much compared to Binance that are like 4,000 people. You realize that payments is a very messy business. So maybe one day
Okay,
we'll have like something different.
so it's not really worth it for now. Like you have to.
For now, it's too complicated. Yeah.
All right. So it was maybe too ambitious of you, right?
That,
Maybe.
like always, yeah. Shoot for the moon. If you miss your the stars, you land among the moon. I think so, something like that.
And the last question, this is my question, by the way, because all of the other ones were community centric, right? As you. Well, you are the face of SwissBorg, right? Like you are SwissBorg to a lot of us, right? Because of the
Poster boy.
YouTube. Yeah, the poster boy. That seems kind of weird. Why? Why did you choose like to make this YouTube channel? Like to for you to be the poster child.
Yeah, I
It
know.
seems
It's
kind of
funny.
strange. It seems
Yeah,
kind of
yesterday I was having this talk with the other CEOs. I don't do conference anymore so often. I just don't enjoy them. But I came to this one. I don't know why. But I came to this one, which is AIBC, which is going to be a very good conference. There's a lot of it. And the good thing is that last night there was a lot of different CEOs and a lot of great people. But I was saying how I'm different. They were saying how different I was from the others, crypto guys. And first thing, I think so. I always wanted to build a very strong community. I never felt any of the nationalities or the countries I lived, I never really had like this thing. I always thought to build like own like type of family thing, like community thing, which I thought was always quite cool. Then for the ICO, I had to do it because no one was doing it. And I was like, no one knows us. We're not from crypto. How are people going to trust us? Well, we start doing meetups and talking to people. And then for the meetups, I'm like, okay, but I can't do like 1,000 meetups everywhere in the world every day. I mean, we need to do videos. So videos. And then people like, oh, we love your video. I was like, okay, I'll do a live video. And then I don't know, it looked like people like to talk to us. And then 2018 happened and building, not too much videos, no more poster boy, crypto winter, and people like super pissed, right? 2019, I was like trying to do some videos and people like, okay, but nah. In 2020, I'm like, okay, I have to grow this community. We get to have to be 1 million users within the next 3 years. And I said, well, what is the best way? Well, let's do a YouTube channel. And I was like, it's not gonna be so much work. It's so much work, as you know. And I think this is the best thing because it enables myself, but SwissBorg to really make sure whatever we're doing is on par with the community, making sure that we're doing the right things all the time. And the community is lovely in both sense, which is there's massive fans, but a lot of fans express their own ideas. And with SB Nation and all of that, we're creating this, this whole parliament thing all going on is really how we could decentralize governance. And these poster moments are the ones that enable to have a direct communication with people. Like I don't maybe talk to them directly, but I read every comment, most tweets, and those tweets, those comments, all of that, it goes a lot into my brain. And then I bring back to the SwissBorg team and I'm like, okay, guys, why are we talking about community? Like, why were we talking about the premium plus when everyone wanted the community premium, right? That was a very good one. We're like, oh, the new premium plus should be that. And like, what? And they're like, what the fuck, man? And I went back to the team. I said, I told you guys, didn't I tell you this 2 months ago? And they were like, yeah, but we need something to replace. I'm like, dude, we got smashed. We need to reflect again and change the roadmap as soon as possible, which therefore community premium took much more time than we wanted. And now we have a very cool way we'll be able to eventually do multiple different premium tiers. So that's why it took so much time. And that's why I like it. It's a lot of pressure, but there's a lot of love all the time. Yeah, it's great. People come to the office, take pictures with people. It's like, it's very pure and genuine. And I think so people do realize that I am pure and genuine. I don't bullshit. I don't have time for it.
You really seem to enjoy what you're doing, Cyrus, and that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time, for doing this. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best and SwissBorg. And I'm gonna be here, the soldier of the Greek soldier of
the
SwissBorg.
Greek soldier. Thank you, brother. That's super cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Cheers.